The book is Young, Loaded and Fabulous, published by Headline, and I'm the author, Kingsley. Young, Loaded and Fabulous is about a group of girls at boarding school. It's an exclusive, posh type of boarding school, girls only, but there's a boys' school down the road. The girls are 16 years old, just starting their A-levels in the lower sixth. And they're just sort of discovering new relationships with the boys that they've known their whole lives. They're sort of starting to get a little bit romantic. The main character, Alice Rochester, everything's always gone her way. She's always ruled the school, and she's just discovering that she has romantic feelings for her oldest, closest friend called Tristan, who goes to this other boys' school. She's about to tell him about these feelings when suddenly a very sexy, glamorous American girl turns up at the school and threatens to ruin everything. So she has to resort to some pretty nasty tactics to get rid of this other love rival of hers. The world of the book is, it is glamorous and wealthy. I'd say it's more sort of old English money than sort of nouveau riche type of thing that we see on reality TV a lot. It's a very traditional type of boarding school world, lots of rules, but then of course you have juxtaposed to that the sort of modern pop culture, music, fashion that all these kids are interested in. So I tried to sort of play on the tension between the tradition and the real kind of modern fun that these kids have, basically. Yeah, the OC and Gossip Girl are two similar genres to my book, but at the same time, this book is different because it's set in the UK. I didn't want to just write another book that was sort of young, glamorous Americans. I thought that it was time to bring the glamour back to London a little bit. I think when people think of glamorous lifestyles and young people having a great time, they tend to think of America a little bit too much. And I wanted to point out that London is in its own right one of the most interesting multicultural cities in the world. So yeah, while it's fair to say that the book is like sort of OC style, it's got its own thing going on. What makes it different is that it's set in this country. Well, I've grown up half my life in New York and half my life in London. I actually moved from New York to London when I was 11. The American character in the book, Dylan Taylor, she also moves from New York to London, but she's a little bit older than I was. Still, though, a lot of Dylan's experiences are based on my own. I remember when I first moved here, and I went to a primary school. They had to give me special handwriting classes because my handwriting was considered too sloppy and American, and they literally told me to pull my socks up to my knees all the time because, in America people don't wear their socks at school pulled up to their knees. So I definitely remember what it was like to feel like I had no idea what was going on most of the time and a real outsider, and I tried to capture that in Dylan, the American character. So in that sense, my life plays into the book quite a lot. I didn't go to boarding school myself, but my school did have boarders at it. It was a very old school, so the worlds of the schools in the book are based on that sort of sense of antiquity and tradition. I think also I've grown up around quite a lot of fabulous types of people, and I've used them for inspiration in the book. There isn't one character in the book who's based on a particular person. I'm not saying that just for legal reasons, it's actually true. And but yeah, so I think I've sort of observed that sort of person all my life, even though I wouldn't consider myself really one of them, one of the really fabulous types. But I've always enjoyed social observation, and I've had plenty of people around me to look at. The book is aimed at girls from, I'd say, 14 and up. It's a teen book, but I hope that it will be read and enjoyed by women of all ages. I mean, a lot of my friends have read it and enjoyed it. Maybe that's just because they're my friends, but yeah, I've tried to add some elements that will appeal to people who are older than teenagers as well.